From the WYLN studios in Hazleton, Pennsylvania, WYLN Evening Edition at 5:30 starts right now.
Good evening. It's Tuesday, October 13th, 2015. I'm Ann Gownley. Hazleton police still haven't released all the details about an accident in which a woman was hit by a pickup truck and killed. The victim was a 79-year-old woman. The driver was a 23-year-old man who initially left the scene but returned shortly after the accident. He was clearly upset at the scene. Police are still trying to piece together what happened. They say they'll release the victim's name once notification of the family is done. Heavy police presence in Lansford this morning, and details as to why police were on scene are still sketchy. These photos are courtesy of TamaqaArea.com, and they show heavy police activity in the 300 block of East Betchett Street around 11 o'clock this morning. According to neighbors, police were on scene since 8 o'clock in the morning. Vehicles and pedestrian traffic have been blocked in the area for safety. Early unofficial reports state that the man might have been armed with a gun. Police from Lansford, Summit Hill, Coaldale, Carbon Emergency Management Agency, Lehighton Ambulance, and several other emergency responders responded to that scene this morning. 8 men are now behind bars after being indicted and arrested for allegedly participating in an interstate heroin trafficking conspiracy based in Shenandoah. U.S. Attorney Peter Smith said the indictment by the federal grand jury was made public after all of the men were arrested. The names of those arrested are up on your screen now. The indictment came down on September 9th. It alleged that the defendants obtained heroin from suppliers in Hazleton, New York, and New Jersey. They allegedly maintained, quote, stash houses in Schuylkill County where heroin, firearms, and money were stored. The indictment also alleges that these men possessed the firearms to protect their drug supply, used cell phones to communicate with drug associates and customers, and used threats and intimidation to collect drug debts and punish disloyalty and further the goals of the conspiracy. Approximately $13,000 in cash was found in 2 Shenandoah residences. Rasheen Strange faces a potential maximum sentence of life in prison if he is convicted on all charges. The other 7 men face a mandatory minimum sentence of 10 years in prison and possible life if they are convicted on all charges. City Council President and mayoral candidate Jack Mundy say Mayor Joe Iannuzzi broke several laws by hiring his nephew. Mundy says the action violated state law and city ordinance. The city statute was adopted in 1995 and bars the hiring of relatives. Iannuzzi says he didn't hire nephew Kyle Overton. He says Overton was hired during the administration of former Mayor Lou Barletta, and Iannuzzi, had no input whatsoever. He says the recent action only made Overton full-time. He'd been a part-time employee. After 2 weeks, there is a tentative deal in the Scranton teacher strike. The union and board spent most of Monday negotiating before reaching a tentative agreement late last night. Union membership is slated to vote on the deal today. The board will also vote on the deal. Details haven't yet been released, but it will once both sides approve it. If approved, school opens tomorrow in Scranton. Meanwhile, in the nearby Old Fort School District, school was back in session today. There was no agreement, but teachers were forced to return to class to hit the 180-day requirement. Old Fort teachers have gone 6 years without a contract. Crews continued searching for an 84-year-old woman missing in Kidder Township. Elena Rapova of Maryland was vacationing with her family near Big Boulder. She is said to be an avid walker but was not dressed for the weather and is not familiar with the area. She also has dementia. She was last seen wearing a dark pants, white turtleneck, blue sweater with green stripes and white sneakers. The family reported her missing Saturday, and there were several sightings in the afternoon, but none since. Fire Chief Ralph Lennon said patrols searched Big Boulder Lake and the surrounding areas. Northeast Search and Rescue was on scene with dogs searching by land and by boat. State police used helicopters to search the scene. Anyone who sees her is asked to call Carbon County 911. A recall announcement from Giant and Martin food stores. Ocean's Halo gluten-free seaweed chips have been removed from the shelves. The product details and UPC code is up on the screen now. According to the food markets, the chips may contain wheat, which is an allergen, and it was not listed on the ingredient label. The chips are safe to consume if individuals do not suffer from a wheat allergy. Customers who have purchased this item are asked to discard any unused portions and bring their purchase receipts for a full refund. WYLN has a pair of tickets to give away tonight to one lucky viewer to the Pennsylvania Premier Wrestling Show entitled For Life this Saturday, October 17th at Holy Family Academy on North Laurel Street in Hazelton. WWE Hall of Famer Kevin Nash, an American semi-retired professional wrestler and actor currently signed to WWE under their Legends program, will be at this Saturday's show. Bell time is at 7 p.m. Tickets are just $10 in advance and $15 at the door. PPW will also be taping for its show here on WYLN High Voltage. For your chance to win, dial 570-459-1869, extension 1172. Leave your name, number, and we will put your name in the drawing for the tickets. So if you want these tickets, dial now, and of course, good luck. Time now for a first look at our forecast. Some rain this morning, but eventually the sun came shining through. But what can we expect for the rest of the week? Chief Meteorologist Joe Garbachik's in the Weather Center with the details. Joe?
Well, we're going to be dealing with a lot cooler temperatures across our area over the next couple of days, so we pretty much have to get used to that. We did have some showers moving through our region. Behind those showers, it's bringing in some cooler weather to contend with. Still a couple of lingering showers, rain showers that is, across our region, and they're moving out. And temperatures, low temperatures, generally 40s to lower 50s, but it's going to get downright chilly across our region over the next couple of days. Right now, temperature-wise, not looking too bad for the most part. We're holding in the 60s. The complete 7-day forecast coming up in just a few.
Thanks, Joe. Coming up next, Mayor Joe Iannuzzi is speaking out about the $1 million court cost the city owes from the IIRA case. Plus, how important is the flu shot? WYLN spoke with a local pharmacist about it. Don't change that channel. More news is headed your way only on WYLN.
You're watching WYLN News with Ann Gownley, Gary Perna, Julie Stefanovich, Paula Degnan, Chief Videographer Mike Lula, Weather with Meteorologist Joe Garbachik, Sports with Eric DeBerardinis and Gabriella Justin.
It always feels good to pull my own part. Saves a lot of money too.
I've never actually pulled it before, but I think it's time.
It's environmentally conscious, and it can be a lot of fun.
If you're a do-it-yourselfer who's up for an adventure, then come out to Harry's You Pull It. Pull your own quality recycled auto parts for up to 90% off the cost of buying new. Savings like that'll keep more money in the bank, which could lead to even greater fun. Harry's You Pull It. WeGotUsed.com.
Do-it-yourself stores may be fine for garden hoses and 2x4s, but appliances? Those guys may know these washers. But Grand Central knows these washers, and ranges, and refrigerators, and more. GE and GE Profile appliances are designed to reflect the modern approach to style, with clean lines and a streamlined look for today's kitchens. So for wood screws and wheelbarrows, go ahead, do it yourself. But for the right appliances at the right price, let Grand Central do it for you.
It's Octoburger, the sale so big they named a month after it. Only at Burger Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Route 93 Hazelton.
Lease a Jeep Compass for $219 a month or a Jeep Cherokee Limited for $279 a month. Buy a Jeep Patriot for $19.9, plus we have 0% for 72 months on Town and Country.
It's the Jeep Celebration event at Burger Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram just off exit 145 on 91 in Hazelton.
Burger Family Dealerships, drive with experience.
The city of Hazelton is on the hook for over $1 million in court costs. WYLN's Gary Perna has more.
The city of Hazelton has been ordered to pay the ACLU over $1 million in court costs from the IIRA case, which the city lost. Now, Hazelton Mayor Joe Iannuzzi said the city had fought not to pay, but the judge didn't see it their way.
Starting from the beginning, we had fought this case, and through the case, we felt that they had no right to claim monetary damage, and all the law says that's what it is. But there's an old law hidden in the books which Judge Munley dug up and found out that, oh, if you have a civil rights grievance, then you must pay. So then all of a sudden it was like, we're paying. When we went through this, there was no reason for them to get paid from us.
Iannuzzi said the ACLU came out with a large number, and the city fought it to get that number down.
They decided, and they came up with a bill of $2.8 million, was their bill, because they had 43 attorneys and we had 5. It went into we went into arbitrations and tried to get them down on that $2.8 million. We got them down somewhat, but then negotiations broke down. Once they broke down, it was returned back to Judge Munley, who made the decision. And what he did was he looked at the case. There was 9 arguments that they had against the ordinance. They only won 4. They won 1 or 2 partially. So he took and averaged it out, and he came up with a 55%, and he reduced their whole costs by 55%. Every attorney's bill went down by 55%.
In the end, the city of Hazleton will have to pay about $1.4 million to the ACLU. Now the city has to come up with a plan to pay.
What I want to do is I want to meet with them as soon as possible, because January 16th is when the payments start. I want to get together with them and negotiate terms. In the judgment, Munley said that we have to meet and agree on terms. I want 10 years. That's going to be my offer. That's what I would like to have for the city. I don't think it would be a strain on the taxpayers or anybody else that contributes to the city.
And can the city afford paying that amount without raising taxes?
If we spread it out over the years, it won't be strain on the taxpayers in the sense that they're not going to go up hundreds of dollars or nothing like that. Maybe a couple dollars, if at all.
The mayor said the city has met with its bank to see what options are available. In Hazleton, for WYLN News, I'm Gary Perna.
Thank you, Gary. Coming up next, Chief Meteorologist Joe Garbacik is back with a full look at our forecast, plus details on the flu shot and why medical professionals are urging people to get it. Stay tuned. More news is headed your way only on WYLN.
We're here. We're here to fight this. We're here with board-certified oncologists. We're here with access to genetic counseling, clinical trials, and the most advanced treatment options. We're here with the strength of the region's leading health network. And now we're here in Hazleton, the new LVHN Cancer Center. We're here for you.
We're having an open house and you're invited.
Len and Jim Thorpe stopped by 2 businesses owned by the McBride family. 33 years ago, Tom and Betty McBride opened the Treasure Shop at 44 Broadway. The Treasure Shop specializes in Irish imports and gifts made in the USA, all at great prices. In 1991, their daughter Peggy purchased the shop, and Tom and Betty bought the old jail museum. Learn about the Molly Maguires and see the mysterious handprint on the wall. The tours run every weekend in September and October, and in October there are special evening ghost tours. Be sure to stop by the Treasure Shop and the old jail museum.
Well, we had the rain move through our region today, some showers. It's bringing in some much cooler air to talk about across northeastern and central Pennsylvania. And we also have the threat of some frost in our forecast by the ending part of the week. And as we head into the weekend, onto the graphic for today, and you'll be able to see that a change has occurred across our area. And that change is even occurring right now. We're bringing in some much cooler weather across our region, and of course we brought some of those showers around as well. Prior to that, we were dealing with those mild temperatures. Live 35 Skycast Doppler, just a couple of showers for the most part. Moving out of our area, and we're starting to dry out behind it. 55 degrees, our live Lehigh tire conditions. We picked up now 0.08 of an inch of precipitation since the midnight hour, and now the winds are really not much of a factor. Occasionally you get them up 5, 10 or so miles per hour, but that pretty much is about it. You can clearly see where the mild air still is contained towards southeastern PA, but not for much longer. 70 in Harrisburg, 75 in Philly, 69 in Allentown, 64 Wilkes-Barre-Scranton International Airport, and notice the cooler air northwestern PA where temperatures are only in the 50s. Still in the 60s in the Wyoming Valley area. Again, we had some of those showers moving through our region. A lot of them now moving out of our area. Just a couple of stray ones left over, and things I think will start to dry out as we head through the overnight hours. So we got the front that's coming through, and as it does, it's bringing in the cooler weather. And that's going to be the case as we progress through tomorrow and the rest of this week. You're going to notice a chill in the air, especially through the overnight hours, with temperatures being below where we should be for this time of year as the jet stream takes a dive southward. Extended forecast looking like this over the next couple of days. Well, I guess you can say you're going to close the windows, maybe turn up the heat, bring out the heavier blankets, bring out some of the sweatshirts and jackets, because you're going to need them. We'll be in the 50s though prior to the chillier air by this upcoming weekend. Look at the 40s, lower 40s for Saturday and Sunday. And again, we're going to be looking at frost as early, maybe as Friday night. If not Friday night, definitely will be coming to us as we head into the weekend. Notice those 20s for overnight lows. Brr. All right. Here's a look at our daytime Pennsylvania lottery numbers. The pick 209, the pick 3 817, and the pick 4 0962. The pick 5 numbers 10059, and the treasure hunt numbers 8, 15, 18, 19, and 22. We'll have more for you coming up after these commercial messages.
Family owned and operated, the experienced professionals at Lehigh Tire have served the residents of the greater Hazleton area for over 55 years. From our full line of passenger, light truck, and commercial tires to our automotive services, including tune-ups, inspections, oil changes, and alignments.
Every time I've ever done business here, they've been very polite, straightforward, and the job gets done quickly and right.
Find the right tire for the right price today at Lehigh Tire.
There is something new to look for at your local SureSave supermarket. And quite frankly, when it comes to quality and price for your food, it's the best yet. The best yet means hundreds of items packaged at the peak of perfection and priced for the family budget. Look for the best yet label at your locally owned SureSave supermarket. When you see it, be assured of the great taste at a great price whenever you need it. From canned to fresh to frozen, for quality products at a better price, the best yet, now at your local SureSave supermarket.
If you haven't found the perfect fishing getaway, you haven't been to Captain's Cove. Located on Henderson Harbor in upstate New York, Captain's Cove offers a variety of accommodations to please just about anyone. The motel, also located on the harbor, offers a magnificent view. Enjoy free morning coffee, air-conditioned rooms, cable TV, and HBO. The cottage can accommodate up to 8 people with 3 bedrooms, a complete kitchen, washer, dryer, 2 full baths, air conditioning, an outside grill, and picnic table. Call us today for rates and information at 1-800-824-FISH.
It's that time of year again to start planning on getting the flu shot. Our Julie Stefanovic has information about the vaccination from a local pharmacist in McAdoo.
October officially begins the dreaded cold and flu season. It typically runs through May and hits the hardest around January. Medical professionals highly recommend that people get their yearly flu shots, but some have reservations. We spoke to pharmacist Jonathan DeBalco of Standard Drug in McAdoo about the benefits.
Yeah, it takes about 2 weeks after you get immunized for the shot to really start working, to be in full effect. So if you were in contact with the flu prior to that, there's basically a 2-week time period where you could still contract the flu. The other thing is too, in the day or two following getting the vaccination, you can have a little bit of a sore arm. Sometimes you might feel just a little sick. It's not the flu. It might be similar symptoms, but on a much lesser degree. It's not really that big of a deal. It goes away after about a day, and then you're protected against the flu for an entire season. So it is, really important to get vaccinated.
The shot itself is basically painless. It's recommended for all ages, especially for younger children and people over the age of 65. Costs for the shots are also a concern for many.
Most part insurances pay for it. I had mentioned the group over 65. It's 100% covered by Medicare, so that's a huge subset of the population that's covered 100%. Same thing for kids. Pediatricians are generally dealing with the vaccines for children. We can, new law passed in Pennsylvania allows us to immunize down to age 9, but for the most part, kids are going to go to their pediatricians, and that's another thing where it's covered 100%.
All of the pharmacists at Standard Drug are licensed to immunize. Customers can stop by during normal business hours to receive their flu vaccinations. The pharmacy is at 322 South Hancock Street in McAdoo. You can also call them at 570-929-1130. Reporting for WYLN News, I'm Julie Stefanovic.
Thanks, Julie. Coming up next, Eric DeBardinis is in with sports here on WYLN. Plus, Chief Meteorologist Joe Garbachik will have one final look at our forecast. Stay tuned.
Sports on WYLN is sponsored in part by Burger Family Dealerships, Harry's View Pullet, Fairway Chevrolet, Penn State Hazelton, Barber Ford, The Wire Guys, Tri-County Business Machines, Weatherwood Nursing, Hazel Park Quality Meats, John Diana Insurance, Mobility by Steven, Service Electric, Hazelton, S.J. Kowalski, Plumbing and Heating, Coordinated Health, Grand Central, and Third Base Luncheonette.
For over 25 years, Whitetail Preserve Shooting Range, 118 Boulevard Road, Bloomsburg, has provided professionally designed skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields. All stations are handicap accessible with resident NRA certified shooting instructors on site. There are packages available to fit anyone's budget. Restaurant and catering on site. Our facility is also available for weddings, business meetings, bachelor and private parties. Call 570-384-2314.
6 weeks in, 2 Anthracite League and 2 Wyoming Valley Conference teams still unbeaten. 1 team in each conference still without a win, and everyone else in between. With time to evaluate results from the weekend, we unveil our weekly high school football power rankings. Coughlin with their first power rankings appearance of the year. Things looked bleak after an opening night loss to Hazelton, but the Crusaders should finish the year 7-3, putting them in AAA playoff contention. Berwick stays at number 6. The Dogs' victories haven't always been pretty, but the defense will keep them in virtually every ball game. The unit is allowing less than 13 points per game. Number 5, Blue Mountain. The Eagles could very well finish the season 9-1, but in a difficult spot because of the quality of AAA teams in District 11. The defending Eastern Conference champions could be bound for the Eastern Conference playoffs yet again. Jim Thorpe, holding down the 4 spot, had a little scare before prevailing against Panther Valley. The Olympians still outscoring opponents by nearly 4 touchdowns a game, but this is where the schedule gets tough. Their next 4 opponents have a combined record of 18-6. Number 3, Lake Lehman. Penn State head coach James Franklin, in attendance for the Black Knights' Friday win over GAR, had to come away impressed after another near 400-yard rushing performance. Nittany Lion commit Connor McGovern, a luxury on the line for Lehman. These power rankings temperamental, so another flip-flop at the top. Lehighton falls back to number 2. The Indians took care of Marion to remain unbeaten, but struggled in the first half. Meanwhile, back at number 1 is Wyoming Valley West. They dominated Dallas for all 48 minutes on Friday, a 56-0 shutout victory, and a statement for the Spartans, and now ranks 16th in all of Pennsylvania, according to Max Preps. Joe Madden has already transformed the mentality of Chicago Northside baseball. The Cubs look the best they have in years, and today they have the chance to do something the franchise has failed to do in 112 years. Last night's home run explosion resulted in an 8-6 victory over St. Louis, putting the Cubs just 1 win away from clinching their first postseason series at Wrigley Field since 1903. An organization known for being cursed has excelled in their first year under Madden's leadership. Game 4 happening right now, the Cubs up 4-2 in the top of the 4th inning. Stay tuned. Coming up, Joe Garbacik is in with a final look at the forecast.
WYLN is proud to announce a huge technical upgrade to our channels that will bring a better digital picture and expanded coverage area to viewers all over northeastern and central Pennsylvania. In addition to channel 35.1 in Hazleton, you can watch a crystal clear picture in Berwick and Columbia County on channel 47.1 and in East Stroudsburg on channel 24.1. And we're proud to announce Pennsylvania's newest TV station, channel 9.1 in Williamsport, serving Lycoming, Montour, Northumberland, and Union counties. Now more than ever, WYLN is your local network.
Hi, I'm Marty Burns, and this is head coach Mike Brennan of the Hazleton Area High School football Cougars. This week's guest will be Jose Cabrera, talking about Friday night's victory over Pittston area, and we'll look ahead to their Friday night matchup at Crestwood. So tune in this week for Sports Talk, now brought to you by the Lehigh Valley Health Network, right here on WYLN.
Join us this week on Let's Talk Chiropractic. You're going to meet Judy Graham, who is going to share her very personal and inspiring story about her life before and after gastric bypass surgery. That's what's coming up this week on Let's Talk Chiropractic. Join us.
Well, we've had some showers that have moved through our region, and as those showers progress, move out of our area, and boy, I tell you what, it's going to bring in some much chillier air across our area as we progress through this week, especially as we head into this upcoming weekend. We can say goodbye to the warmer weather that we've had the last several days. We know for this time of year it's very short-lived, doesn't stick around very long, and we are in a different season. We're no longer in summer, we're no longer in spring, and we're in fall, and pretty soon we'll be in winter. We have to deal with these cooler conditions, and we're going to be seeing them as we progress through the rest of this week, and we're going to be looking at some frost, I think, by the ending part of the week and as we go into our Saturday night and Sunday night, so make sure you are aware of that. Here's a look at the extended forecast and what we can expect over the next couple of days. Well, we waited and waited for this colder weather to approach. We know at some point in time it was going to happen, and now is the time. We're only looking at 50s the next several days, and if you think that's chilly, it gets chillier as we go into the weekend for Saturday and Sunday. How about lower 40s for daytime highs? Some of those overnight lows, it's not a misprint in terms of the number. 24 and 27, I definitely think that's going to happen as we go into our Saturday night and Sunday night. We will be dropping down into the 20s, so be prepared for that. And then we're back up into the 50s as we start going into early next week. Really no significant rain. Friday maybe a couple of scattered showers, but at that point in time it doesn't look like it's going to be anything like a rain-soaking event. Just a couple of scattered ones here and there. That's pretty much about it. So are you ready for the cold?
I actually like cold. I'm not I don't know, I'm one of, I guess, the very few that like the cold weather.
Are you ready for it right now?
Yeah, I could take it.
October 13th, yeah?
Well, I mean, I kind of like this weather right now, but I'll take a little, I like chilly weather.
You can have it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
That's my opinion about it.
Seems like Friday, even though you said scattered.
We've been on a trend with some rain over the last couple Fridays, but it doesn't look like anything big.
Yeah, so get your umbrellas out, I guess, for Friday night football.
Still don't
Friday
have
night
one.
lights. No, you still don't have one?
Still don't have one.
We really have to.
The Marion game last week was a little bit of rain, but other than that, the night was pretty good.
All right, so we're hoping for that same thing to be this Friday. So just scattered showers, though, for the football players and the fans.
Dress warm. Mm-hmm.
Dress
warm.
All right.
Game of the week this week, Hazleton back home at Harmon Guy Stadium hosting Tunkhannock. So that should be a good one. Should be a very close one.
Big matchup for this, or what can we
They should get a win. The Cougars should get a win and prove to 3-4 on the year. I know Friday was disappointing, but they should get a win this week.
All right, well, that's all we can hope for. And don't forget, if you don't want to go out in the rain, and you're not able to, you can always watch it here on WYLN, but always get to the game, because I remember when I was in high school, being at those high school football games. It was always a good time. So, but once again, we will have the game here, 7 o'clock, Tunkhannock versus Hazelton at Harmon Geist Stadium. That's 7 o'clock this Friday, so don't miss it. And hopefully, Joe, those scattered showers remain scattered somewhere else.
That's right. We don't want them.
I'll take it. Have a good night, everyone.